Hey guys, Takahmasak here, and welcome back to Dragon Warrior 3. Now, I got everybody almost up to level 20. Claudia's lagging a little bit behind, but we got Stop Spell for our hero and Repel. Repel, again, just works like Fairy Water does and repels weaker monsters. And we learned Awake, and I believe we also learned Limbo, which we already went over from the annoying-ass bird. But most importantly, we got our characters to level 20. So we need to get the book that allows us to become a sage. Now here we have a Simiax, just the next step up from the Kongs. And we got one. And let's just go ahead and kill the one that we surrounded. What's the worst that could happen? Critical hits? Well, I guess they could call for more. That would be... Every time I see that, I think of, like, baby formula. But it's like Similac for baby formula. Yeah, my next priority is definitely to pick up that book, which is in that tower up here. We could have came here earlier, but the enemies are a little bit rough, so I don't like to jump in there when I'm in my teens. Oh, there's somebody in here. Hello! It was a trick woman! Here we have Great Beaks. I don't think they're as tough as... what is the one? Avenger Beak or whatever where I was level grinding. I don't even remember what these guys do, but the Great Beaks, or the Avenger Beaks, or whatever the hell they're called, over by Moore, those guys will reduce your defense and then attack. That's pretty much their standard attack pattern. But I'm not really concerned about anything in here at this point, so... Just keep your HP up. It's not a super long dungeon, but it can be a little confusing, I suppose. Life is pilgrimage towards enlightenment and salvation. I welcome you to the Tower of Garuna. Hey, thanks. Oh, there's more of you. Another trick woman! If you possess the Book of Satori, then sage you may become. So yeah, without that, we're not able to become a sage, unless you happen to be a goof-off that got to level 20. Which is totally not worth taking one along. Now, I think there actually is a monster in the game that can drop the Book of Satori. I want to say it's one of the bird monsters, like I think it's the blue beak, but I don't remember off the top of my head. I'll have to get back to you later on that. I'm not going to make more than one sage. The actual drop rate to get that book is just absurdly gross, and I don't want to deal with it. I don't know the percentages off the top of my head. I just remember it being just grotesquely low. So let's do a tightrope walk. Is the hero barefoot? Why are they barefoot? Just never noticed that before. I'm fighting Great Beaks out the ass in this dungeon for some reason. I know you can meet up with more stuff. There's a new enemy, at least one new enemy we haven't met up with. Along with the Simiax we bumped into on the outside. Holy cow with the Great Beaks. So far they haven't done anything else other than just double attack. I mean, with the magic armor they're not really doing a whole lot. So let us look for more loot. And loot we shall have! In the form of money! Now, I didn't actually get a whole lot of gold. I'm at 4,500, so that's not too bad. I spent probably 1,500 back in more dicking around with the poison moth powders, because as of right now, that's the only way I have to confuse monsters. And that's actually... Oh, here's the new enemy. We got the Sky Dragon. This guy can breathe fire on you between... I believe he does between 30 and 40 damage. So, yeah, we do want to get rid of him. Let's send Hans and just everybody else after him. Or we could just murder it straight out. That's about as easy as it gets, so... Yeah, you don't want to mess around with those guys too much. Because if they do 2 consecutive turns of hot breath, then... I didn't get that. That was at the cross. I didn't go down and get that because that's a man-eater chest and nobody wants that. Is there anything up here? Yeah, just use a lot of caution if you decide to go against the Sky Dragons. I believe they're fairly susceptible to Expel. So that's also an option if you don't want to miss out on the little bit of experience from whatever else was in the battle. But if we come over here, we can grab another treasure in the form of Iron Helmet. I think I already bought him an Iron Helmet, didn't I? No, he's still using the leather helmet. I actually meant to go buy him a iron helmet, but I never got around to it, obviously. And I think that's the best one he can equip, I want to say, in the game. Maybe with the exception of the golden crown, but I didn't care enough about the golden crown to hang on to it. Now, this dungeon is a little bit tricky if you're looking for the Book of Satori. You might not think to get right in the middle here and just dive right off. But that is actually what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to accidentally fall off of here. And you end up in this little area, where there's only one option to go. And in our greatest of joys, we can find the Book of Satori. So let us GTF out of here. And I think this way is the quickest way out of here. And I might as well walk back. I have a little bit of... screw it. Let's just cram as absolutely much in this episode as we possibly can. So I went over it last time, but when we class changed, which we're about to do with our pilgrim... Oh, by the way, another note about the Staff of Thunder. I believe it casts Fire Bane and not Infernos, like I previously mentioned. It does more damage than Infernos does. So let us get rid of this. And I'm pretty sure the person who is becoming a sage has to be holding on to the book. So we'll give that to Leonard. Hello, sir! Yes, I do. Mr. Leonard wishes to become a Sagi. Yes, he does. Yeah, just like he says, he will start you at level 1. Yeah! So be on your way. And he gets a completely new sprite. So be super careful with anybody you class change. They will, like he said, will be at level 1, and they'll be super fragile for the first little bit here. So you might want to consider parrying with them for the time being. I'm going to get him a little bit of experience by... Do I want to walk to... I didn't really explore more, so I do want to do that. And Japan, which we also didn't do. But I do also want to go get... I guess that's all in the same area. I don't want to go here just yet. Okay. And here we have Fierce Bear! I think these guys can critical hit more often. I did not re-equip Leonard, which will be my absolute murder. No! Oh, God. He's only he's only bleeding profusely. I can say words. So chances he's gonna go before he's murdered. Thank God. Oh! Okay, he's fine. He's fine. Ooh. So yeah, it unequips you. Keep that in mind. What I did want to say about... I kind of mentioned it because I did want to try it. I've never tried that before. Is when I was using the poison moth powder on the metal slimes. They seem fairly susceptible to it. I only used 4 of them. But I believe I had 3 of them hit. You see he's only gaining like 1s of stats. It's balancing out from all of his stats got cut in half, so he's not going to get significant gains for a little while. He should have decent HP growth, if I recall correctly, after all this. But, yeah, I was able to confuse 3 out of 4, and then something kind of interesting was happening that I didn't realize would happen. When metal slimes just use their regular attack on other metal slimes, it completely ignores their defense. Because they don't do crap for physical damage, but they did 3 or 4 against metal slimes, which was enough to kill them, so it really helped out in a few of those battles. So yeah, also another note about the Sage is I mentioned before, but they will learn all of the wizard spells and all of the pilgrim spells. So what you saw him learning is a huge boatload of wizard spells, so there's some of the initial wizard spells there. And I'm not going to learn any more pilgrim spells until I get to about level 21 now. So if we go straight north from here, we should be able to find... Yeah, there we go, some shoals in the middle of nowhere. Hey, we haven't seen a king squid yet, but here you go. He's not anything super special. Here's obviously how that works, but I don't think he's really, yeah, he's not really anything super special. I'm gonna keep his HP up. It might be just more prudent to defend. I think he does a fair amount of damage, but he only attacks once. He's got counterparts later that will attack either 2 or 3 times, so be careful when we run up with his counterparts. But him himself, meh. And sure, we'll Ice Bolt him because he's got his new magics and he wants to test it out. And he gets pimp slapped by the King Squid there. Hooray! So I do want to get him up a few levels, so I might have to grind out some more between this episode and next, because I can't leave him as fragile as he is and expect him to make it through any sort of beasties fights. Especially in the upcoming areas. We have another boss battle to do. And yeah, he will just bleed all over. Let's get rid of, or get back to the HP. And if we come up to the shoals, let's put that Vase of Drought to use. Haboosh! Haboosh? Oh god. Ooh, a Shrinny Shrine. Yeah, we already know what's going on over here. We've had enough dialogue in the game to know. In. The Shrine of Evil Leg. So let's grab this, and we get the Key of Finality. So where, pray tell, is that? I will put it where the magic key is now, between episodes. Kerchunk. There's a great pit called Gayaga, deep in the mountains of the Necrogai. All misfortunes emanate from that pit. Okay. That's fantastic. So, let us go to... I'm gonna go back to Jipang, and I'm gonna explore the other 2 towns that I didn't really get to take a good solid look at. I don't know if I have time to do both, but I'll try to shove them both in this episode. And the nice thing about the Sage is he has the Pilgrim's equipment table, but unfortunately he still can't equip the... Not gaining much on the intelligence, but what can you do about that? More! Hello, old man. Yeah, I did. I think if you say no, he's like, oh, what curious folk. I probably could have walked here. Popata is a crack water. He's a crack dealer. Hey there, Papa Gatero! No, do I look like a Papa Gatero to you? Maybe. I don't know what the hell a Papa Gatero is. Hey, what's in here? Hello! Oh. That's where I go to play, the market there. Dun 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 dun. He's just an introduction to the shops here. That guy actually sells poison moth powder, which I didn't know before we went to grinding. And there's absolutely nothing I want here, so... Why has he got his back turned? Hey! Well, you sure look like him. I don't think there is anything in here in the NES version, but I believe there's like a... I think there's a mini-medal in here, if I recall correctly, in the Game Boy version. I'll search it just in case, but I'm pretty sure... Ain't nothing in here. Oh. Kind of a pointless little area. Why is that even jailed off? Anyway. We sneak around back. We can find out what held this guy's interest so much. Hello? No. Quit calling me that. I think you probably know who it is. who they're confusing me for. Good morning! It's a frisky boy. Wow, it's Papa Guitar. Everybody says the same exact hairline. Oh, he actually made it. Yay, we get the water pistol. Yes. Yeah, so obviously Ortega came through. Papa Guitarro at the end is just kind of an anagram, so you can figure that out. Oh. And if you want to, with the water blaster, you can shoot people with it. I don't think it has any other use. If it had another use in like the Japanese version, let me know, but it's going straight to the vaults. It would be interesting if you could shoot like fire-type monsters with it and deal a handful of damage or so, but... So yeah, all of that will end up in the vault. You have not learned Return yet. And I don't think... I don't think Japan has a... I guess I'm about to find out. It's like, hey! Warmest welcomes here in Japan, where everybody is green. Alas, my only daughter is chosen to be offered by the Orochi. The hell is an Orochi? Better not be a many-headed dragon, I swear to God. The people are being offered. Doesn't sound like a reasonable place to be living. So yeah, it looks like I was right. I didn't think this town had an inn. You have trying to spread the teachings. Meet this Himiko. The Orochi is a terrifying monster. The next offering may be me. Well, surely that's not true. Anything in here? Anything in here? Ooh, it's a Mimic Woman chest part. Ah, she's trying to hide in a pot so she doesn't get eaten by evil monster of doom. Hey, get in there. Yeah, probably not going to do this side quest next, I think. Or it's a part of the main quest, but I'll probably do a lot of treasure hunting when we get back and put that final key to use. Doesn't sound like my kind of homie here. I ain't sure what you mean, but if it's anything like a crystal ball. So he has an orb? I'm so glad it's a boy. If it had been a girl, oh, you just had a baby. So only the women are being devoured by Orochi? That's okay. I'm not a woman. I'm clear. Does everyone dress in so... Hey, you're blue and white too! Alright. Wonderful barrel pile. Hello. If you slay the many-headed serpent, the Orochi, Himiko would most certainly rejoice. He is vexed. What can I do about that Orochi? Murder it. With very sharp blade. In recent times, Himiko has acquired a strange supernatural power? So why he cannot defeat the Orochi? Offerings are chosen by Himiko's prophecy. So he Well, it certainly is. Hello. How the hell did you hear... How did you hear about me already? Well, apparently he doesn't give a rat's balls about me, so what? Oh god, I have zeros of MP. So I'm probably going to do a little bit more level grinding between episodes. I need to get the level up of Leonard there, at least a little bit. I got to get him to somewhere in the teens, I'm sure. So I need to get him... What is his max HP? It's probably something pathetic. Yeah, it's only 69 at the moment, so I'm probably going to get him... might end up doubling his level, so I'm going to take care of that between this episode and next, and I will meet you just north here in more for next time on Let's Play Dragon Warrior 3. This is Takahmasak, and I'll see you later.